Hell, they're so strict. When you respond in emails, they'll say things in every email. They'll be like, oh, please put a heading like this. Please do that. Please forward this first to here before. If you don't complete any of that, you're dropped. So I ordered this suit. It's like 10 sizes too big.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
it's not wearable. The Diplomatic Security Service has this job. It's called a DSS SA, a DSS special agent. So it's kind of like, like how an FBI is a special agent. They have an 18 series nomenclature. Same thing with these guys. And I start looking at it, and it's a cool job. Anybody who listens to this podcast should check it out. It's a really cool job. And I'm like, dude, I want to do that. But it's a hard job to get. It takes about a year, maybe 18 months to get hired, lots of testing and stuff. It's a federal agent position. And I'm like, man, I want to do this. This might work out. So I start that process of applying to do that job while I'm going through this divorce.
In other news, because of GMOs, monocropping, and soil depletion, Americans are not getting enough nutrients. That's why in 2018, I founded B Micro, the first freeze-dried microgreens company in the US to help Americans get more natural nutrition in their diets. Microgreens are a phase in the plant's life, and they're just 14 days old and naturally the most concentrated in vitamins, minerals, and unique antioxidants. Our microgreens are all grown here in the US and certified USDA organic and regenerative organic. We grow, wash, and freeze dry them to extend their shelf life from 1 week fresh to over 1 year, allowing us to ship anywhere in the US without the worry of spoilage. We have 2 flavors: broccoli, backed by over 2,000 studies on sulforaphane for its powerful detox benefits, and a blend of broccoli, radish, and red cabbage, our most powerful detox formula that we've tested, giving you the most bang for your buck. Easily sneak these into any meal: eggs, pizza, pasta, or even your kids' mac and cheese. We have whole leaf, powder, and capsule options, so you can choose the way that works best for you. Use code PLANT15 to save at bmicro.farm.
I go through, I complete all the training for this DSS SA job. It's mathematical, it's reasoning testing, physical stuff. They got you on the running machine with the EKG, monitoring, your heart rate. They test you for G6DP deficiencies, so much physical testing, so much mental testing. The hardest tests I've ever taken. Harder than anything I took in school, really hard tests. Proctored, you hold your ID. If you want to go to the bathroom, you have to raise your hand. You can't say anything. They come, tap you on the shoulder. You hold your ID and walk in front of the camera, and you stand at the urinal with your ID up to verify that you have never left, it's never been a different person. You've never left proctoring. You've always been observed. And I'm like, this is kind of cool, hardcore stuff, right? Kind of like James Bond. And I'm able to pass. I'm passing all my stuff. I pass my written, stuff, I reasoning, and I'm kind of a year into the hiring process. And now it's the last step is the board of examiners. And that's where you walk into this boardroom, and they're all sitting around this table, and they ask you questions. They kind of want to beat you up and see how you respond. It's nerve-wracking for me. They say dress to impress. Come out to Chicago, dress to impress. So I order this suit. It's sweet suit. I ordered off Amazon because I'm broken. I don't know anything about suits. Well, it arrives late. It arrives the night before I'm supposed to have this interview, this final awesome thing. It's 10 sizes too big.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
it's not wearable, but I was counting on it. Yeah. So I'm like, well, I'm going to wear the pants because all I own are shorts. I don't know if you can see how I'm dressed now, but that's how I dress, right? So I've got these pants. They come up to my chest, and I've got a belt wrapped around my chest, right? So that I have these pants. And I'm like, what am I going to wear on the top? I can't wear this giant suit jacket. I look it's ridiculous. So I get this sweater, but it's kind of faded, and I put it over a collared shirt. So I've got this sweater, but I've got the pants up here, and you can kind of see the belt buckle in here. I'm like, this is not going to fly. Yeah. But I can't reschedule. If you reschedule, if you don't show up, it's it. Yeah. Hell, they're so strict. When you respond in emails, they'll say things in every email. They'll be like, oh, please put a heading like this. Please do that. Please forward this first to here before. If you don't complete any of that, you're dropped. If they say, hey, respond to this email at this address, but first forward it to this one, and you do it in reverse order, all of a sudden you're dropped from a year of evaluation out the window, right? And that's the point they're making is this is serious stuff, attention to detail. Yeah. So I go there, I got this ridiculous suit, I take the train up in Chicago. I get there, it's time for me to do my interview. Mr. Nippert, go sit in this room, we'll be with you. I go in this room. It's kind of an intimidating room. It's all gray walls, nothing, no windows. There's a door with no handle. I'm locked in this room. I can't leave. It's got no handle. I can enter it. And I'm just sitting in there. There's one chair. There's nobody in there, right? And there's a camera like in the corner, like a security camera focused right on me. The only thing in this room, there's 3 pictures on the wall. The President of the United States in a frame picture, President Biden. The Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris. And the Secretary of State, Anthony Lincoln, right? Or Blinken, Anthony Blinken, right? And the picture of the president is crooked, really crooked. Like, and I'm like one of those guys. I've already looked at all the pictures in your room, and I'm happy that they're straight because I would have gotten up and changed them. And I'm looking at this camera looking at me, and I'm like, dude, this is a test. They want to see who fixes this picture, right? I go, it's got to be. We're like, why do they have a camera in this room? Why is this the only thing in here? I'm like, I'm supposed to fix this picture, right? I'm like thinking about it. I'm in my head because I'm stressed out. This is the culmination of everything. I got to fix this picture. So I get up there. I go to tilt it, and it falls off the wall. The picture of the President of the United States falls off the wall, hits the picture of the Vice President, which falls and hits the picture of the Secretary of State, and they all hit the ground and smash, and the frame's broken, and glass goes everywhere. And then the door opens, and this guy sticks out, what the hell is going on in here? And here's my belt. I can feel my heart beating through my belt wrapped around my chest underneath my... So it's time for my interview, dude, and I'm just like, this could not go anywhere. No, and I smoked it. I crushed it, and I got a passing. I was a first-time go, which I think that's a good thing to complete everything. Be a first-time go. Dude, I'm like, whatever my like, I'm just like on cloud 9, and all of a sudden they're sending me things. This is such a professional organization. All the interaction with email and stuff is just unreal. And I'm like, I can't wait to go work for these guys. This is like, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. Because, I've always wanted to be this kind of warrior guy, but I feel like one of my skills is communication. That's almost what I'm best at. Well, that's what diplomatic security service, the most important thing to me is national security. And I believe you would obtain national security through diplomacy, right? So, and that's who I am. I'm like, this is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do. So I'm pumped. Well, the last thing you do, you have to get a security clearance, but you also have to get what's called a suitability determination. And this is where they just verify that there's nothing in your record that means that you can't do this job. I don't get my suitability determination. I get a letter back from the Department of State. And at this time, I should backtrack. I'm in my office. I'm watching, I think I was like watching CNN or something. I'm watching stuff on Ukraine. And Anthony Blinken comes out. He's Secretary of State. And he's playing the bass guitar, singing Rockin' in the Free World. He's in Ukraine, and he's playing Rockin' in the Free World on bass guitar because that's something he does. And he's saying, Ukraine's part of the free world. The U.S. will always support you. We're allies. The U.S. is with you forever. We believe in this conflict. We're here to support you. And I'm like, I love this guy, right? I'm like, I can't wait to be part of the Department of State working for Diplomatic Security Service. I'm like, this is awesome. Dude, while I'm watching this Anthony Blinken play this bass guitar and talk about Ukraine, my email goes off. Boom, there it is. I recognize. I'm like, oh, this is my thing. This is the last step. Here I go. I get my suitability determination, and then I'm off to the academy. You've been denied. Heartbreaking. What? They have to give you a reason. I got denied because they felt I was at risk or I wasn't suitable because I went and supported a foreign government. I volunteered to fight for a foreign government in Ukraine. And that makes me risk. That shows that I may not have loyalty or allegiance to the United States. And they dropped me. At the same time, I'm watching the guy the person who's in charge of this in Ukraine saying, dude, I'm like, what is going on here, right? So that was kind of like the end of that. No, I get to write an appeal, right? I do this long appeal, and I thought it was great. It was about 17 pages. And they said, hey, this is great work, but we regret to inform you, it lacks the burden of proof. You've said all this stuff, but you haven't proven whatever you still went to Ukraine. So you're dropped, but they're like, you can reapply in 2 years if you want. And I'm like, dude,